mercy. And y'all get on my chat and tell me I'm fucking ignorant. How many people in my chat telling me that healthcare will make people lazy? Does that make me lazy? But I'm the ignorant one.
Anti-Afro Spingalis. Just the intro reminder of how it turned out for Carrie Ann when she went to go hang out with white folks thinking they were going to listen to what she said. She sounds so ridiculous. And it only took 20 minutes for them to pretty much kick her to the curb, then come back to her channel with more nonsense. But here is the continuation. Part 2. I've never known a fascist to have that disposition. They are not interested in hearing what you have to say unless they are there to identify you, to repress you, to come and pick you up, to target you for removal. I'm sorry, didn't that just happen to Charlie Kirk? That's along the lines of how Carrie Ann's mind works. How many death wishes has Carrie Ann placed on people? I'm going to do this to you with the firearm. Take your life. Behind what? A verbal disagreement. I have not heard anybody make any physical threats of violence towards Carrie Ann, but she has made them towards others in response to having a difference of opinion, not agreeing, or somebody calling her names. She feels she has a right to invoke, to declare her plans to use a firearm on you, to get in a car and drive. All the while not taking her psych meds. All the while saying she hates therapy. All the while calling around and asking other people to remind her to take her psych meds. I don't know any information regarding Charlie Kirk along these lines. In particular, calling people names out of their names, talking about the mama, the daddy, the grandma, the kids, the dog, because you don't agree with them. That's Carrie Ann from A to Z. And I want to make it also clear, Carrie Ann does not have to agree with Charlie Kirk. She doesn't have to feel any kind of way that somebody assassinated him. She doesn't have to dislike it. She doesn't have to condemn it. It's a free country. Except when you promulgate, when you stoke, and when you incite such violence, then that is illegal. Nobody says that Carrie Ann has to feel bad about what happened to Charlie Kirk. But let me tell you one damn thing. How did Carrie Ann respond when she knew that people were not going to bend to her whim? Every time she recognizes people will not bend to her whim, she has a conniption fit and even deteriorates to the point where she's threatening to kill you and wanting the same for your children. I wish that ninja dead. She even said that about me. I don't give a damn what she says about me. I'm just highlighting she's got a serious ass problem. Serious ass problem invoking death. She is the kind of subject that needs to be watched very carefully. Just like this fool, this assassin, this savage who got up on that building and used a rifle to shoot somebody because they didn't agree with what he said. He didn't like what he said. He didn't shoot him because he liked what he said. Come on, that's a no-brainer, people. That doesn't even make any sense. But that's Carrie Ann's mindset. It's the name calling people bitches because you don't agree. She's extremely weak and has such an incredibly low level of tolerance of any situation or any circumstance where she doesn't get total and complete agreement. She takes it literally personally and feels she has to attack someone by calling them all kinds of names. And then, didn't she say she's a communist? Then she says she has free health care because she claims to be a veteran. But she calls it socialized medicine. Hold on to that for a second. What's significant is that she's ridiculing people for circumstances that she claims they're in with respect to their health care and insurance. How would Carrie Ann be in a position to characterize someone else's health care status or access to insurance and can tell you what's going to happen in the event of a catastrophic illness, this simply proves the depths of Carrie Ann's ignorance. She's referring to cancer and other catastrophic illnesses, heart attacks. If you have a catastrophic illness and your insurance, say you have insurance, say through a job, and your illness is considered catastrophic, you have multiple options to get health care and your needs addressed. This is when you have people come in and assist you. The government provides for catastrophic illness, cancer, breast cancer. She said breast cancer runs in her family. The government will pay for that. You will be brought under Medicaid or Medicare if and when the insurance for your employer, or if you don't have insurance, is going to kick in. This is what the illegal aliens have been getting. They've been taking up medical care access from U.S. citizens and legal residents. Carrie Ann doesn't have a freaking clue. Our resources have been strapped to the gills. But when you have a catastrophic illness, the government kicks in. So what is she talking about? Debt. She says she can tell you everybody's health insurance plan to the point where she rattles off these numbers. Doesn't have any idea what the hell she's talking about. She's just making shit up. And people identified that. Then she calls medical care or health care provided through the Veterans Administration socialized medicine. No. Oh, God. I told you she didn't know what she was talking about. Even if she, you know how she claims to have received what she says free health care? This is what she is saying. Now, she lies about a lot of things. If you leave the military or you're discharged from the military under medical discharge or any other type of discharge other than you've done 20 years, the military will determine, or the Veterans Administration in collaboration will determine the percentage that you will be considered service connected. This is after you leave the military. That formula has changed over the years. Currently, if you're at 50% or more service connected, when you separate without 20 years in, your health care is covered. It's not socialized medicine. Had the person not been in the military, they would not receive this arrangement. So it's not socialized medicine. Let me say something else, and I'm talking only about medical benefits after someone leaves the service. There are all types of scenarios that exist with the military, and a lot of it can be negotiated. Circumstances are individuals, and there are always exceptions to different regulations. But as standard, if you have 20 years or more military service, your medical care is free for the rest of your life. And I just talked about the service connection aspect of things. All different types of scenarios can occur with the military. It can be a very complex process. And there are people who leave the service and start businesses that are designed to help people who leave the military to make sure they get the maximum benefits. Because, of course, they can give you a service connection percentage. You have an option to appeal that or request it be modified. Again, it's just not one set way of doing things. There are all types of options. She's so freaking ignorant. And then she ridicules people who she claims don't have health care that she has. But this is interesting. They called her lazy. They're right. They pointed it out. Yes, she is lazy. And I'll tell you why she's lazy. She sits on her fat ass right there in front of that camera, blowing up bigger than that house that she lives in. Can't get through the door. And she's doing what? Smoking and eating herself to death. She's smoking. She has lung disease, smoking and bragging about getting free health care according to her. Free health care. eating like, I don't know, like a hog on a farm, snorking around and puffing on those cigarettes. And let's get to this. In another video that she posted, she said that she did a drug test because she was going to sue me because I said she was using drugs. Let me get this straight. Let me repeat it again. Carrie Ann is an illegal drug user. Straight up. And guess where that comes from? Right from Carrie Ann's mouth. She said she has a pound of weed and that she smokes weed. She said that. That came out of her ratchet mouth. And I can prove it because I have the live stream. Now, let's talk about a pound of weed. That's a serious felony. Straight up. There is a very limited amount of weed that you can have for personal consumption. But in Georgia, when I say for personal consumption, as far as what they will charge you with, because in Georgia, it is illegal to have marijuana. It is an illegal drug in the state, and marijuana is an illegal drug in the federal system. So if you're caught with a pound of weed, obviously that far exceeds personal consumption in terms of charging the person with the misdemeanor. Carrie Ann will be charged with a serious felony if she is caught with a pound of weed. She's the one that got on here and talked about smoking weed and having a pound of weed. It came out of her mouth. She claims to have firearms, which means she lied to ATF and she lied on the state forms. The federal form states very clearly, marijuana is an illegal drug. Are you using illegal drugs? Had she put yes, she was using illegal drugs. Marijuana is an illegal drug in Georgia. So she's lying on these ATF forms. Yes, I would love for Carrie Ann. She's all talk. Bring your ass up and file a lawsuit so I can pull up this live stream and give it to the judge where you are confessing to felony offenses, drug related. That's what Carrie Ann did online. She thinks because she snatched down these live streams that no one has copies. Yes, we have the live streams. And guess what? They can go and get the live streams themselves. Since she always likes to claim everything is doctored, she is a liar. She's up here arguing with white folks, and they called her out and said she was lazy ass. Yes, she's sitting at home smoking cigarettes and weed and bragging about getting free health care. It's all for naught because she's not following doctor's instructions. Says there's cancer in the family or breast cancer in the family if she's smoking cigarettes. That is on her. And then she doesn't know how to respond to information that she claims is incorrect, addressing the situation with women in the workforce. What is the reason you simply can't pull up a statistic and make comparison? What you would do, you would pull up percentages. Guarantee you that percentage is significantly higher today than it was in the 20s and the 30s or any time in the past. You can say the same for military service. I'll put it below the title so you can check out statistics. She takes statements in the absolute, but she takes what people say literally and applies it and claims she has an argument as a response when she doesn't even know how to pull up any information that's accurate and use it. I won't call it a debate. An argument, verbal abuse, bigotry, targeting people for threats because there is a disagreement. That is Carrie Ann's problem. I know one damn thing. Let her get her ass over there, like I said, and start threatening to shoot and kill white folks and see what happens. Your ass is going to end up for sure in federal lockup. You want to know one of the main reasons that Carrie Ann just bombs whenever she goes anywhere new and they end up just kicking her out? Because anytime she seeks to have a discussion, she can't just stick to the discussion and give points. What she has to do is throw her personal situation or personal circumstances into the mix. When you're addressing issues, very little, if any at all, should be coming in about your personal situation. They're not debating your personal life or your personal status or your personal experiences. The issue being debated is the issue. When you start throwing yourself in there and saying, for example, this is my situation, you're giving all these details, like she was giving these details about her personal life. Then if somebody makes a comment on it, then you get all on the defensive, and now the whole conversation is geared towards Carrie Ann defending herself because she says someone talked shit about her when she brought the information into the scene. It's just like the weed. She brought it in. All her personal business, she decides to bring it into the mix, then gets mad when people bring it up. So when you take this type of strategy and you go off into the YouTube streets and you're expecting people to back off because you're giving them a personal experience regarding your health or your mental health situation like Carrie Ann has done, it's the strategy looking to disarm people thinking they wouldn't dare criticize me or bash me or talk about me or come back at me because I have these conditions. This is her strategy that she hopes to shut people down and to guilt them out of giving a response to her original bullshit. This is why it doesn't work with Carrie Ann wherever she goes. Then I find the other thing just highly supportive of why she has no credibility when she claims to be a feminist. She's up here talking about supposedly women's issues and advocating for women, and she's calling people bitches in the conversation. I'm all about women's rights, you bitch. You are? If you're a feminist goes around calling other people bitches. She calls males and females bitches. But when she's talking about feminism and claiming to defend women, she uses gender attacking language, screaming and hollering about women are discriminated against. I'm a feminist and all this other garbage that she comes up with. This is why she looks like a fool. This is why she looks like just what she is, which is a fool. So she says all these things about whoever she says them about. And let's say, for example, for the most part, someone decides not to give her a response. That doesn't mean it's permanent. That doesn't mean whoever received the information is forever silent. No, that means whenever anybody decides that they want to open up their mouth and speak on whatever Carrie Ann has said about them, they can do it. Or be like Carrie Ann. When nothing has been said about a person, she decides to start ragging on them and talking about them, lying on them, falsely accusing them. She wants everyone to think that she's got special treatment and there's some stoppage when it comes to her with respect to what people choose to say. Just like she's running her mouth about the Charlie Kirk situation, giving her opinion, basically celebrating the fact that somebody was killed or assassinated, but don't you dare say anything about Carrie Ann. Oh, bullshit. I'll say whatever the hell I want about Carrie Ann. I don't care what kind of excuses she's trying to bring up in order to try to shut people down. I could care less what she complains that she has. She's complaining about these health issues while she's smoking. We're supposed to feel sorry for her? This is the deal. How I see it, if I want to get up here and say whatever the hell I want about Carrie Ann, I'll do it. And I can go on for a great many years based on the crap that she has said alone. But that doesn't restrict me. If she never said anything about me, I can talk about her too, like she does to everybody else. Runs around trying to figure out, oh, who's being talked about? Who seems to be having situations where people are paying attention to them? Whose names tend to be coming up? Oh, those are the people I'm going to attack. That was her method. That was her mode. That was her strategy. Second to attacking black men. The same strategy she uses for race. She's up here race attacking all these different groups. You talk about them, they're going to talk about you. There is no prohibition. She does not have special protection that orders people to be silent while she says whatever the hell she wants. Folks are going to respond just the same. Again, let's see how Carrie Ann does. Let's see her go running back over there with these white folks. Or whether they come over to her channel. Let's see how long it takes before she starts threatening them with violence. Wait and see what happens when she thinks she's big and bad and wants to start running her mouth like she did on black folks, threatening them with violence, invoking firearms, constantly making references to violence when she feels she can't get anyone to agree with her or she doesn't like what they say. Boy, that's a circumstance everybody's talking about in the here and now. Let's make the distinction between those who are getting tagged because they're engaging in illegal behavior. People have a right to speak as long as their speech doesn't fall under a free speech exception. When you start talking about firearms and going to shoot people and hopping in cars, that is not covered by free speech. That's covered by the penal code in the state that you're located and any applicable federal statutes that will come and pick your raggedy ass up. It isn't working out because Carrie Ann is who she is. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference where she goes. It's going to have the same outcome. I don't honor any selective enforcement or selective expectations when it comes to free speech. As long as what is being said is not violating the law, there's nothing anyone can say or do. Well, history has said just what we already know. Those who have the tendency to attack others unprovoked are the ones that have issues with self-control. Those who are responding aren't the ones getting in trouble because of what they say. How about because they have built-in monitors and built-in self-control gauges where they don't have to worry about something like that? But if you're used to just running off at the mouth, not giving a damn who you're saying what to and where, and thinking that's going to be acceptable in every environment, those are the subjects who are going to run into trouble. I'm not going to run into trouble as far as anything that I'm saying. It's not violating any rules or regulations. We've seen this play out time and time again. Those who want to run their mouth, those are the ones running, ducking, hiding, and snatching down content and lying about having said what we know that they said. Once it's posted on YouTube or social media, it's never erased. It's there for the world to retrieve, for the world to see. And that is something whoever worries about being in a circumstance like that needs to think about. Maybe self-control might be in their best interest, but that's not my call. That's not my decision to make. I'm going to continue on just as I always have. You know I got more coming your way, so stay tuned, everyone. Buyer beware.